Grant Cardone here, and I just want to give you a heads up notice that for any of you concerned about recession, inflation, let me tell you, you should be right now, okay? I'm in Malibu right now, and I'm just looking at shop after shop after shop that's struggling already, okay? And regardless of what you guys hear in the media, I just want to prep you for how to get through what's going to be, I believe, and I'm predicting to be 2, maybe 3 years that are very, very difficult for entrepreneurs, startups, small business owners. You have to prepare for inflation hitting you. And look, I just want to give you a heads up on this thing. It's happening right now. I believe we're already in a recession, not to be a doomsday guy, because I think that there's ways for you to take advantage of this. But I just passed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shops, and nobody's in them. So the American consumer has like $18 trillion between cash accounts and money markets. You can't get negative right now when you see the bad news. This is an opportunity for you and your family to actually expand, not contract. So you're going to see bad news in the headlines everywhere. Once the politicians start allowing the mass media to actually distribute the bad news, and we're not talking about Ukraine and COVID, we're not talking about abortion rulings, because all that is just distraction for the bigger problem, which is the economy. The economy is problematic, okay? You got the Fed pushing interest rates 0.5 point yesterday. There was a rebound in the stock market. This morning I wake up, the stock market rolls over by 1,000 points, okay? There's going to be blood in the market. So I'm gonna do a training on this. I'm gonna give you a few tips right now, but I'm gonna give you a link to a training for those of you who actually wanna do something about this and not just hear the bad news and be woken up. First thing is you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up to what's happening. You gotta know that, hey, what do I do now? What do I do if this happens? 1, do not buy into the bad news. Okay. 2, you got to expand into the opportunity, and it's very, very difficult to do. You've heard of wealthy people doing this before, how they take advantage of situations. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that, whether you have cash or no, you don't have cash, whether you have credit or don't have credit. Because during times of contraction, what happens is, for instance, there's 32 million small businesses in America. Many of you are going out trying to start a new business where what you ought to do is just kind of slide sideways and go buy one, the neighbor next door to you. I mean, from laundromats to plumbers to internet businesses to coaching businesses, you name it, chiropractors, dentists, like in every sector that you're involved in right now in your business or your interest or your passion, I'll promise you, there are thousands, not 1 or 2, but thousands of small businesses like yours that are similar to your passion, that would feed your passion, that already have branding, already have marketing built in, already have a name, already have a location, already have revenue, already have credit lines that you can literally just slide into. Okay, but you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that if all you're doing is buying into bad news. So number 1, you can't buy into the bad news, because remember, all bad news, sooner or later, is beat out by the need to survive and the economy to go on. The economy will always go on, okay? Not just here in America, but around the world. Always, 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 we always get on the other side of bad news. So the first thing to do is you got to keep your head out of the garbage dump. You got to stay positive. And trust me, when it goes negative, it is not easy to stay positive. People always like, oh yeah, I can stay positive on my own. Probably not, because you're not going to be on your own. You're going to be surrounded by bad news everywhere. So number 2, you got to think about how do you expand despite the fact that you don't have money and you don't have credit, or you do have money and you do have credit, but you don't want to use either one because you're terrified, and you will be. The third thing you have to figure out to do, okay, is exactly what sectors will survive long term. What sectors are going to win through contractions? Because what happens in a contraction, what happens is weak businesses get squeezed out, weak names get squeezed out, okay? Weak operators get squeezed out, and the strong come in and take over that. Either the technology takes over and disrupts a space, or a person, typically a person or an operator, comes in and then scales that business. Now, what I'm going to look to do here in the next couple years is actually accelerate my expansion. Accelerate my expansion because I know how to operate. I know the 4 things you have to do in a business to make a business successful. There's only 4 things you must do to keep a business: 1, profitable; 2, expanding; and 3, flourishing. There's 4 things and only 4 things, okay? I don't have time right now because I'm with my family, but when you click the link below, what I'll do is I'll give you a free training on those 4 things that you have to do. Look, you'll get through this. I promise you, you're going to get through this. The question is, you're going to get through it, and you're going to do great. You're going to flourish and prosper. You're going to be like these businesses, waiting for traffic. Oh, by the way, they're still having to pay the rent. Okay, they're still having to pay the electric bill. They're still having to pay property taxes. Waiting and hoping and wondering, will they get a customer? Maybe you're online. If you're online and you're not a retail store, you're having the same problem. This is coming. This is happening right now, folks. Prepare for it, okay? I hope this message finds you well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you truly want to figure out how to flourish and prosper during this time, this is the moment, by the way. These are moments. It will be easier for you to expand right now than it was for you to expand in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years of a great economy. It's easier to expand in bad economies than good economies. And if you're serious about getting your money right, your business right, your future right, your dreams right, your family right, grab that link. Be part of this free training. Cost you nothing, no strings attached. I want to help you grow your business. Who knows? Maybe we'll become partners as a result of this. Okay? See you there.